everybody, I hope you are all doing so well today. My name is Savannah if you guys are new here, and today I'm going to be doing a kind of like self-care routine, if you will. I definitely do not do this obviously every evening. I try to do something similar to this kind of routine at least like once a week, just to kind of help make myself feel better, keep myself motivated, and check in with myself mentally and emotionally, and just kind of make sure that I'm feeling good and looking good as well. So I'm going to be taking you guys through all the steps that I like to do. But regardless, I feel like self-care is kind of made to be like this perfect thing where it's like face masks and like painting your nails, which I'm definitely going to be doing tonight, but it's also maybe not so fun things, but really helps you out mentally, like making sure that you have a clean and organized space, making sure that your space around you is looking good, because if you're not feeling good in the space that you're in, your head is not going to be in the right place. You're not going to feel good, and it's going to cause a lot more stress than it needs to. I thought that that would be really good. I'm also going to be doing a Q&A towards the end of this video, kind of talking about some self-care and mental health tips that I personally have. So that's what we're going to be up to in today's video, and if you guys are interested, please be sure to like this video and also subscribe to my channel down below. I would so greatly appreciate it. And without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. So step number one requires me being very honest with you guys, regardless of how embarrassing it might be. It's fine. It's 2021. We are going through self-acceptance. We are going through accepting that we might have little flaws and whatnot. And one of mine is that I don't like to put up my clothes, okay? I have this chair in my room. I feel like every person has the chair in their room that like hoards all of their clothes that they refuse to put up, and mine is overflowing currently, so I'm gonna need to take care of that, and that is like my big thing. Also, you can see on my bed I have a bunch of stuff on there as well that I need to clean up and organize, and I have been needing to do this all week, but I genuinely have not had any time to. I've been really busy with work, so that is what I'm gonna do right now. Is I'm going to make sure that I can clean up and organize my space. So I'm going to do a little time lapse right here of me folding up my clothes and putting them away in either my drawers or my closet, and making sure that my bed is nice and organized as well. Also, I would share this with you guys, but I actually already did this week. I went ahead and washed my bed, which I know that might sound like, of course it's important to wash your bed, but genuinely I feel like it is a mental reset. It just feels so good to get in the bed and have super clean and fresh sheets after a long day. I promise you, if you have not, if it's been a little bit since you washed your bed, please be sure to do it. It will make you feel so much better. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start doing a little time lapse now, and we'll go ahead and get that started. So this is the not so pretty side of self-care. You know, it's fine.
You're gone now, will you coming back? Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. You're the traveling kind, it's a known fact. Yeah, I know that. Once you've seen all the things, all the places, I hope it means that you'll come home to me. Once you've traveled the world, all the spaces inside your heart, I hope I'll be your end destination.
So this is a little overview of like my bed area. So clearly this looks so much better. Right here is where I literally had all of these clothes, and now I just have a couple items right here at the moment. But yes, this is the chair of doom that I was talking about, where I had so much clothes that I had to put up. But yeah, the overall vibe is just so much better and so much lighter in here. I love having a clean space. There's nothing honestly much better about it. So yeah. All right, so now that we have finished all of that, I can finally get on to the more fun and enjoyable things. So I really want to go take a nice and relaxing bath. That is something that I try to do several times a week, just because I really enjoy taking baths. I feel like it's very relaxing, very comforting. Obviously I take showers like whenever I wash my hair and stuff, but yeah, I just really wanted to take a nice and relaxing bath. So that's what I'm about to go do. I'm going to light a candle and use my bath salts and all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're about to go do now.
Far away, and yet so close.
just got out of the bath, and that was such a nice and chill, relaxing bath. I genuinely needed that so much. I feel so much better. So what I'm going to start on now is I'm going to do a face mask, and then I'm also going to be doing my nails. So I have this like little gel nail kit that I got off of Amazon. If I can find the link for this, I will link it down below for you guys. But I really wanted to paint my nails and like do a face mask and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna like clip my hair back just so that way it is out of my way and I don't have to worry about it. Also, I did ask for you guys to ask me some questions kind of like with like self-care and mental health related like questions that you guys have, and I did post this on my Instagram stories. So if you guys have not yet, please be sure to go follow me over there. But I posted this story right here that you guys are looking at, and so I'm going to be answering some of your guys' questions while I do my face mask and everything like that. So the face mask that I'm going to be using is the Freeman Anti-Stress Clay Mask, and I did get this one for Christmas, and this one is for normal to combo skin. So I'm going to be putting this on right now. I have not used this yet, obviously, but I'm going to go ahead and start by answering some of your guys' questions. So this is like, all of these are very good and like very relevant questions, and ones that I personally have really dealt with. I feel like especially this past semester in school, I really had a difficult time as far as like my mental health and stuff like that. And obviously I did share some of that with you guys, but I obviously didn't want to like come on like camera every single time that I was like having a hard time or something like that. Oh, that color is intense. Okay, but obviously I wasn't going to come on camera every single time that I was like dealing with something personally. I feel like it's really important to talk about like mental health and self-care and all that kind of stuff, because I feel like I saw this on somebody's Instagram the other day, but it was like talking about self-care and all that kind of stuff, and it was saying how oftentimes self-care is ugly, meaning like it is like going to therapy and like working through your problems. It is getting out of bed whenever you don't want to. It is like having a breakdown and like crying about your problems. Like there is so many different steps to self-care, and obviously like face masks and like painting your nails and all that kind of stuff is part of self-care. But there is a really big important part of self-care where it is like actually like one-on-one, like working on yourself and like trying to kind of like make your life better, and making sure that you're prioritizing your mental health and making sure that you are in check with your life and that you're happy with your life. First question that I'm going to answer is, how do you cope with stress in school? And that is a great question. I feel like this previous semester was arguably one of the most like stressful semesters that I've ever had in school. And it wasn't because my schoolwork in particular was hard. It was that I just had a lot on me, and that I was really overworking myself, and I was not prioritizing keeping up with myself. And it literally took me like having a mental breakdown one day for me to realize that I was not taking care of myself. I was in the trenches. I literally was not looking forward to anything in my life. Every single thing felt like a chore, whether it was like going to take a shower or having to wake up or just start the day. It just felt like the biggest task in the world that I could not overcome. I'm gonna go wash this off my hands. Hold on, I'll be right back. How I learned to kind of cope with stress at school is that I seem to get really overwhelmed really easy, especially by like looking at my to-do list, because obviously I had the mindset of trying to be the absolute most productive person at all hours of the day. And if I wasn't doing something that was the absolute most productive, then I was not doing it right. And that is such a bad mindset. I feel like a lot of times we have this mindset that we think that we are robots, and that we do not realize that we are human beings that get tired and do not have to do work 24 hours a day. And we get like so addicted to the mindset that like if you're not doing the absolute most at all hours of the day, then why even do it, which is so not accurate at all. And it is so important to realize that you are not a robot. You deserve to have rest. And a big thing that really helped me cope with stress is that I learned to, whenever I made my to-do list, list in the morning, I made sure to put the things that I absolutely had to do that day. And if I got to the end of that list and I felt like I could do more, or I was too tired, then I would stop. I would not try to work ahead and like pile so much on my to-do list to where I felt overwhelmed. I would just make sure that I would try to kind of balance everything out. I would get done what I needed for that day, and then if I felt like I could do more, then obviously I would do more things. I would start to work ahead on my work. But especially if you're getting to the point where you are so overwhelmed, just taking things step by step rather than making this massive to-do list that feels like, how am I even going to conquer this? Because the big thing with anxiety is that you feel like you have 1,000,001 things to do, but you have no idea where to start. So people don't start, people procrastinate, and that's something that I also used to do as well a lot. But that is like the main thing for me, is just making sure that I take things step by step. If I feel overwhelmed that day, then I will just do the bare minimum, like honestly just like what I need to do and get it done. And if I feel like I can do more, then that's great, but I try not to stress myself out if I feel like I can't do everything in one day, because that's kind of like my mindset. The next question is how do you cope with your anxiousness? And that is such a good question. Like, again, I feel like I really learned how to cope with it. Obviously, I'm not a professional at anything that I'm about to say. This is just like me being a human and like learning through my mistakes, but I am planning on going to therapy this year, and that is something that I literally wanted to do for years now, but I just never put the time and effort into it. And this year I really want to make an effort to make sure that I find a therapist and start to work on that kind of stuff, because you are not your own therapist. You need help from other people, and sometimes I have a hard time asking for help, but I realize that it is okay to ask for help. It's important to ask for help, and you can't do this on your own, and it is more than okay to get help. And this is something that I have never shared before, and I've never like opened up about on my channel, but I started anxiety medication this past semester, and it was very scary for me because I was ashamed of the thought that I needed to have medication to exist and to like feel okay, which is so like not accurate at all. And like, I am very much aware of mental health. I think that it is so important and people need to talk about it. And even I was just like scared of the thought of me starting medication for my anxiety. And I talked to my nurse practitioner, and she was like, no, it is totally fine. There's literally nothing wrong with it. Like, she also was telling me like she also was never really an anxious person, and she started taking anxiety medicine like earlier in the year because of the pandemic and how stressful everything was. And she was like, you are not alone. You are important, and there's nothing wrong with getting help whenever you know that you needed it. And it took me a long time to realize that it was not me being weak that I wanted to be on medication. It was me being strong and knowing that I needed help, because again, I was just getting to a breaking point where I was so overwhelmed. I was so anxious. I literally could not enjoy anything throughout the day, and it was just like costing me so much mentally. So obviously I have my little like nail light here, so if you see that light up, that's what's happening. Obviously it was really scary for me to start medication, and it took me a couple weeks to kind of get used to it. At first I did not like it. It was just like my body like kind of adjusting to the medicine, and what I am on is not anything that is super intense. I wanted to make sure that whatever I started to take, it was not habit forming, and if I decided to go off of it one day, then I could, and it was not going to be super difficult for my body to adjust to it. So that is something that I was really concerned about whenever I did start medication, whenever I talked to somebody about it. And my doctor was so great at just like making me feel heard and understood. But this is something that's so important to me, is that I feel like we all have our own things going on. We all have our own mental battles and our own demons that we literally face every single day, and you have no idea what your friends, your family is going through at the time. And it's very easy to just kind of like look at somebody and think, oh, they have it so easy, like their life is not stressful at all, it looks perfect from the outside, and in reality they are like so unhappy with their life and they feel so lost. And so like worried and everything, and I'm just really glad that I decided to go on medication for it. I feel like it genuinely helps me so much on a day-to-day basis. What are your favorite ways to relax / de-stress? So obviously this is a few of them. I really enjoy doing a face mask if I can. If I can paint my nails, that is super fun. Sometimes I'll like go get a pedicure and like go get my nails done if I can. It's also fun to just like do it on your own as well. Another thing, I feel like getting my hair done just like literally makes me feel like the best ever. And I realized that I think this year I'm gonna start getting my hair colored more, because I was only getting my hair colored like twice a year, and I would like get to the point where I was like, oh my gosh, I just need to get my hair done. Like it would make me feel so much better. So getting my hair done literally makes me feel like a whole new person. I feel like a lot of people can agree with that as well for themselves. Best ways to cope with anxiety. So I feel like everybody is like on like asking about anxiety and like all that kind of stuff. So personally, if I am, it's been a very long time since I've had like an actual anxiety attack. I think it's been a couple months, but something that like genuinely helps me, and these things might sound silly to some people, but genuinely they help me whenever I'm in the moment of pure panic and worry and I feel like the world is crumbling down on me. These are the things that help. The first one, I know somebody's gonna roll their eyes, but genuinely this seriously helps me so much, is I do deep breathing, and I just try to immediately just like breathe and just kind of focus on my breathing. I try to do big inhales and big exhales, and just trying to close my eyes and focus, and just trying to tell myself that we are in the now. This is not the future. I am in the present. I only need to worry about the present. I cannot control tomorrow, because a lot of my anxiety focuses around like either things that I've done in the past or what I'm going to be doing in the future. And I need to realize today is today. You cannot change what happened yesterday. Coping, the biggest thing with coping with it on like a day-to-day basis is that if I know that I've had a bad day, I do not try to just like ignore it. I try to evaluate it head on, and that's something that I've really learned, that it is so important to be aware of your mental health, to not ignore it but acknowledge it, and to try and help yourself. Because I promise you, if you're like ignoring your mental health and you're ignoring all the warning signs of exhaustion and burnout and anger and frustration and just no motivation, it is going to cause you so much harm in the long run, and you're just gonna have a lot of work to start whenever you actually start to work on your mental health. So that is something that I really feel like is so important. The next question, if you're feeling off or exhausted, what do you do to cope? Any tips and remedies? I did kind of answer this question earlier, but pretty much I just try to, if I know that I've had a like really rough day, I just try to kind of take it easy for the rest of the day if I can. I get done when I have to get done that day, but otherwise I just try to relax. Obviously I do YouTube. I really enjoy watching YouTube videos. I will watch a TV show on Netflix. I will make sure that I get a shower. I don't know what it is, but literally showers are so therapeutic. It just like makes you feel so much better, and I'm not kidding you. Like just like making sure that you shower and like you spend time like washing your body, washing your hair, like putting physical time and hour labors in like in yourself, that genuinely like helps me so much. And I've noticed that. And that could be like going and getting a drink from Starbucks. That could be going and getting my favorite lunch. It does not have to be like something super expensive or anything like that. It could be a like $4 drink from Starbucks. Obviously you don't have to do that. Really like baking and cooking. I feel like that really helps me. I can cook my favorite meal. I can just try and put time in myself. That is something that will benefit me in return. So that is something that really helps me. All right, so the last like physical, like visual self-care thing that I just did is I just applied some self-tan. So this is the St. Moritz tanning mousse in the shade medium, and this is a really good self-tanner if you are looking for something that you can use in the winter time that's not too dark. It just gives you the perfect amount of color. I believe that you can get that at Ulta, and it's like $10 or $12. If I can find a link for it, I will link it down below for you guys as well. And I do use one of the like Saint Tropez tanning mitts as well. So yeah, I just put that like on the top half of my body. I I cheat in the wintertime, and more times than not I will just put it like wherever skin is showing, especially in the wintertime, because I'm not running around wearing shorts. That's not happening. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and kind of like saw how important it is to like actively practice self-care, and not just like by painting your nails or like doing a face mask. It's so much more important to make sure that you are taking care of yourself mentally and checking in on yourself and making sure that you feel good in your body and that you feel safe. And that is super important, especially here lately. I feel like COVID has really kind of like put things in like a lot of perspective and whatnot, and that has been super awesome. I just realized I never showed you guys my nails. Once again, I will link the nail kit that I use down below in the description box. That one came from Amazon. It's a gel nail kit, which it comes with like a UV light and all that kind of stuff. I really like it so far. That's like my 3rd or 4th time using it, and I absolutely love it. So yeah. So that is going to wrap up for today's video, guys. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, please be sure to like this video and also subscribe to my channel down below. Also be sure to go follow me over on Instagram as well, Savannah_Porton. And yeah, that is going to wrap it up for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.